It is here in Geneva, Switzerland, where all of your personal data will be stored as you and your loved ones are chipped like animals. As you and your loved ones are chipped like animals, tracking your every movement. The CDC will begin arresting the unvaccinated and inevitably forcing these chips on the masses. The CDC will begin arresting the unvaccinated and inevitably forcing these chips on the masses. Revelation 13:16 reads, "And the second beast required all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead." That foreboding passage leads us to the small hamlet of Geneva, Switzerland, where the elite go about doing Lucifer's busy work. Geneva, Switzerland, home of the European headquarters of the United Nations and CERN. Geneva hosts the highest number of international organizations in the world, including the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, the World Health Organization, the International Labor Organization, the International Telecommunication Union, the World Intellectual Property Organization. And apart from the United Nations agencies, Geneva also hosts many intergovernmental organizations such as the World Trade Organization, the World Economic Forum, the International Organization for Migration, and the International Committee of the Red Cross. It is here in Geneva, Switzerland, where all of your personal data will be stored as you and your loved ones are chipped like animals. As you and your loved ones are chipped like animals, tracking your every movement, only to hit you with carbon taxation 24/7 under the incoming Agenda 2030 that is creeping its way into your community. Sound a little extreme? Well, Dr. Oz doesn't think so.
This little chip may be the next big thing, and it sounds like it's right from a sci-fi movie, but people all over the world are implanting these into their wrists.
We're so attracted to our devices that they're basically becoming a part of our bodies. But what if they really could become a part of our bodies? Well, guess what? They can. Meet the RFID microchip, similar to the tech used to track your pets or your phone. Once implanted in your body, it could identify you as you pass through the airport, open the door to your home. It could even be used to buy groceries at the supermarket.
And just how is the United Nations going to go about chipping 325 million red-blooded Americans? Well, in concert with the United Nations establishing a foothold in our local police forces, thanks to the United Nations and the Department of Justice's collusion of the Strong Cities Network, the CDC will begin arresting the unvaccinated and inevitably forcing these chips on the masses. The CDC's imminent implementation of its new rules for controlling communicable diseases. Americans traveling between states can be stopped, detained, and even quarantined if they seem to have indications of an illness that could impact public health. If this sounds vague, it is. The CDC has even coined a new absurd category, pre-communicable illness. It means that with few or no symptoms, but merely the probability of having contacted someone who had or could have had an illness, a traveler in America can be picked up and held against his will. The CDC asserts it has police powers to do this.
10,000 people have already been chipped, and the number is growing.
Once the CDC's full violation of the Constitution is underway, enforced by the Strong Cities Network, the United Nations Mark of of the Beast system will be coming to a school and/or doctor's office near you, courtesy of the United Nations Agenda 2030.
Christian music has been banned from school buses in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. The school district told one of their bus drivers to stop playing a Christian radio station while taking kids to school. The complaint was filed by the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which is a group of atheists and agnostics. An attorney from that group said, quote, "Given the content of the programming and its proselytizing nature, young and impressionable students cannot be forced to listen to such programs." The superintendent agreed with the demand, saying they were just trying to avoid promoting religion.